Well, eventually, I got orders. Rather unexpected to me. I was put on loan to another branch of the service, the Inspector General's Department, and was assigned as an Assistant Inspector General to the headquarters of the Commanding General of the Army Air Force's Technical Training Command, headquarters in St. Louis, Missouri. I soon learned that General Hornsby, the Commanding General, had stations over which he had next echelon command, all the way from Boca Raton, Florida, out to the West Coast. One of them was in Denver, I remember, where I had to do a special investigation. The students who were pilots, air crew members at least, were being taught the technology of crash firefighting. First objective, save lives and major physical impairment. Second, try and save the airplane, put out the fire. This called for the use of two different, among other things, two different firefighting compounds. One was fog and one was foam. And the instructors at the school were advocating the use of both simultaneously. The one of them, the fog, I think, was the one that was designed to protect any human beings until they could extricate them from the plane. The foam was to keep the oxygen away from the fire and to put it out. But the two of them being used simultaneously operated against each other. The fog would dispel the foam. The foam would turn into, it couldn't do its job, couldn't protect the body that it was being sprayed around. And the students were objecting to this, especially a couple of them that had been in a crash fire. And so they rioted against the school. The instructor was adamant. He was teaching this course. I know more about this than you do. And there was a young riot. General Hornsby sent me out to make an investigation, see what it was all about. He didn't know the details of it. And try and, make a report and let him know what was happening. So I got out there and I got the story. I got the story from both the students and the instructor. And the instructor said, well, the best thing I can tell you is to consult with, and he gave me a name. He says, probably the most esteemed expert in this field in the United States, in or out of the Army. And right now he's out at Boise, Idaho. That's where he lives. So I have my plane, my pilot. I'm riding in the bombardier's compartment in the bottom of this 2-engine plane as we fly over the Rockies to Boise. Oh, what beautiful scenery. Oh, man. But we get to Boise, and it's the beginning of a weekend, and I find out that this fine gentleman won't be available until Monday. So all we can do is put up at a hotel. So we go to the hotel, and and we cash in, check in, and I go down to the office, to the desk downstairs, and ask where I can get a bottle of liquor. We'd like to have a drink or two amongst us. So I said, well, there's a liquor store, and he told us a couple blocks away. That's all he told us. So we went down there, and looked around and pointed to a bottle of whatever we were going to get up on the shelf behind the waiter and said, like to have a fifth of that. He says, let's see your license. And license? Yeah, you have to have a license in this state to buy liquor. And well, he says, I sell the licenses. So one of us had to pay for a license. I don't remember the costs of these things. And so we bought the bottle and took it to the hotel room. I asked at the desk as we went in, could we get some ice? 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 They didn't have any ice machines or anything. See, this is a dry state. This hotel was as dry as anything. So we drank a drink of warm water. We couldn't even get cold water. Warm water and whiskey. Oh, we got to do better than this. So I contacted the desk again and said, isn't there a club or someplace we could go where we could take our bottle and get some ice? Oh yeah, there's a club down, and he told us how to get there, about 4 or 5 blocks away. We walked down there, and yeah, there's a jukebox, there's music going, there's people sitting at tables, and we go up to the counter, put the bottle up there, and said, no, we went to a table. That was it. Put the bottle on the table. In no time at all, a waiter came over and whisked the bottle away and said, you can't have that at your table. He said, who's the member of the club here? Member? Yeah, you can't even you can't get any service here unless you're a member of the club. Well, what does it cost to join? One of us had to join the club. And the waiter took us, whoever joined it, and took the bottle up to the counter, filled out a little form, pasted it on the bottle with a name, address, and so on, and put it on the counter behind him, and said, now you can go to your table, because the others would be your guests of a member. So we went and sat down, and lo and behold, then we paid 75 cents a drink, which is all you'd pay in California, for instance, or in New Jersey, or St. Louis, for a drink without being a member of the club. You buy your liquor, you buy your membership, you buy your liquor with a license, then you go to the table and they sell them to you at standard price drinks in a bar. So we laughed, what the heck, we got a weekend we got to spend some way or other. I got my testimony, I wrote my report, and it all got straightened out. I don't see the end of it, I just turned in the testimony and report.